Hello, today we move to the third in our series, the executive series with Doug Long, looking at the issue of culture. Culture's talked about a lot in organisations and elsewhere, but sometimes we don't fully appreciate its importance and the fact that it really determines whether or not what we're trying to do is successful. Culture ties in very closely with the strategy of the organisation. And there are three key strategic orientations. The first is we focus on ourselves. The second is that we focus on our customers. And the third is that we focus on our competitors. Now, in reality, if we're going to make a profit, and as I've said before, if we're not making a profit, we're not in business. The reality is that we need the right balance between these. And that means that at various stages in an organisation, any of those three could take precedence. But whatever one is taking precedence, we still need to understand the importance of the culture. You see, culture in an organisation is a bit like personality in a person, an individual. In other words, what it means is that it's the driver behind our behaviours. If we've got a quiet personality, then we're going to have a different set of behaviours in the main from somebody who's got a very extroverted personality. Similarly, in an organisation, if we've got a culture that is very supportive of the strategy, where the people in the organisation are committed to make the organisation successful, then we're going to have a very different organisation than one in which the culture is such that people are always sniping at each other, that management is constantly micromanaging, and people are in everything for what they can get out of it themselves rather than what is best for the organisation. And so, as we move through the vision into action concept that Tero Kauppanen developed, he makes it very clear that as we set strategy and as we determine where we're moving at any point, we really need to understand the culture and to harness the power of the culture as we move forward. I'd like you to take a few seconds to just think about the culture in your organisation. When people come into the organisation, outsiders, what do they actually find? What do they see? Do they find a very dynamic organisation where people want to work together, they're collaborative, they're supportive, and there's a harmonious situation? Yes, there's disagreement, but the disagreement is over the best way of doing something rather than picking on people, rather than snide comments about anyone, rather than any form of disrespect to anyone? Or do they find the reverse? Do they find that the organisation really is quite dysfunctional from a cultural perspective? As you move forward, spend time looking at the culture, understanding the culture, because if you understand it, then it becomes possible to modify it, because you can prioritise those areas that need changing while building on those that are working very well. And we're going to explore that a little more over the next week or two as we think about how do we actually use this understanding to bring about the best performance from everyone in the organisation so that the desired results can be achieved. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.